And good day. You're flying Tironan's very unfriendly skies. Today we have the F-84 Thunderjet. And this is an interesting aircraft, and I consider it one of the best of all the multi-roles because of the weight of ordnance. Now, if they'd managed to stuff 4 M39 cannons in here, I wouldn't be complaining a whole lot, but, you know, it is what it is, and I've been relatively happy with it. However, this is coming to the end of its time here, and the reason is that I have collected all the experience that I can get to get the F-84F. The successor, I believe, is called the Thunderjet. You'll have to check that. Let me know if I'm right or wrong, but I think that's right. Okay. So you see, just obliterated a target. And that's not all it can obliterate. It's got a rigged out right. You can get this to a 10.5 turn time. And it's quite capable of hanging with other fighters after it gets to get with its load. It's not going to compete with the turn and burn. But it can hang in there with just about anything else. And the machine guns are forgiving. I had a long discussion with Bucko, or he was nice enough to put a very long explanation on how to use machine guns. And one of the things, he pointed out a couple of deficiencies in my technique. Well, you know, if I ever claim to be the be-all and end-all of knowledge here at World of Warplanes, then I was lying through my teeth. In all cases, I give you the best information that I have available, but sometimes you have to sit down and get schooled. And he took the time to do that. Since he's been here over 4 years and knows these things better than I do, what we did was, what he suggested was that I was opening fire way too early and repeating the same mistakes that a lot of people make with this. And that is that because of dispersion, that opening fire with a 50 caliber machine gun at 2,000 yards is a mistake. Because you're getting about 10% of your firepower. Okay. Well, that actually makes sense in physics as well. And for those of you that don't use firearms on a regular basis, you know that you get more inaccurate the longer the range gets. Nor was an M2 machine gun, M3 machine gun ever intended as a precision sharpshooting rifle. It's a weapon of war, folks. And what you want out of a weapon of war is to give you very repeatable results. First off, you want it to be reliable. If you have a problem, you need to assure that the way it's designed, a soldier in the field can clear the problem very quickly. And that's the number one criteria, not everything else. Next thing is in machine guns is it puts X amount of fire down at X amount of time and does so repeatedly, reliably. So the criteria for military weapons is very different. And it is built to have a certain amount of dispersion built into it anyway. And that's true of all military machine guns. They're meant to beat an area, not deliver precision firepower. Now, but it is true of all firearms, even bench rest rifles that don't even have stocks on them. They're strapped down to a bench and bolt action, and you know, when you start talking about extreme range events where it's not a matter of your ability to shoot, it's your ability to build an accurate gun. And such events do exist. In fact, the 6.5 Creedmoor is renowned for its ability to compete in such things. Big, heavy rounds need not apply. Medium rounds to 6.5, 6.6 millimeter rounds are the preferred deal there. We're getting out of scope. Nonetheless, you don't open fire until you get into 1,500 feet or less. And your sweet spot is 1,500 feet to 1,200 feet. Don't open fire until then. And he went to some lengths to explain it. And he's right. The damage output of this, because the weapons don't overheat very much. I mean, you can overheat them if you run them long enough, but you've been into something. you're not at a 3-second burst and then you're out of fire. And you can quickly chew through anything, and the amount of damage you cause can be rather spectacular. No, and he's right, by the way. I've tested this out, and he's absolutely correct. So, passing on some knowledge I learned. I've actually tried it. He's right. And you'll notice that I don't really open fire until 1,500 feet now. Also, taking out bombers going in from the belly is a lovely idea. That idea has been passed on to me from other players too. Mad Dog Moran is one proponent of it, and Bucko is another. Okay, so take it for what it's worth. If you can get underneath a GA or a bomber, by all means, hit them from underneath. GA is a little tougher. They usually like to hug the ground, at least I sure do. And most of them I see do. When you catch them up high, dive and pitch up and enjoy. Now I've got a full bomb load, and this is a big target. So I let the two teeny Tims go, let the rockets go, and sure enough, we took it. And that is a big armored target. You don't get more ordnance on an IL-40 than comes with this, really. Well, you do because of the 2,000-pound bombs, but IL-20 anyway. And so it's a very respectable ordnance load. You can actually outfit this with two 500-pound bombs. And it uses on the Imperial system, so you know that that's actually 500-pound bombs, not 550, and not 1,000-pound bombs, but 1,100-pound bombs. This is a true 500-pound bomb. But I like the reach of the weapon. I like the precision of the weapon. Again, you notice the damage that's being done in a very short amount of time. Okay, got snuck up on there, had that one coming, was watching my radar. They're giving a radar for a reason. You notice I didn't need it, I didn't use it, I was too busy worrying about other things. I got snuck up on. And now everything is up to the other side. I've done my job today. So, this is the F-94 is an aircraft that I've very much enjoyed. I get a little frustrated with it sometimes, but it really is a good plane. And that's got to do with the new meta and the fact that the multi-role planes are very vulnerable to bombs, so you don't use bombs on them unless you want to drop from higher up than I want to. But so the rocket ordnance on this actually helps a lot. But the day of taking a Blenheim and getting at 50 feet and dropping bombs and doing horrendous damage are over, and I'm as guilty as anybody of this. And so we've moved on, right? You now have better air defense aircraft. You now have better AA. All that is better than it used to be. And all World of War gaming is suffers this. All right, you don't get to get used to one thing and it stays that way forever. Go talk to World of Warships. There was a time when people would show up with 5 and 6 battleships, out of 12. Players to a side. You don't see that anymore. There was a time when people took destroyers because anything not in a destroyer was meat on the table for destroyers. There used to be a time when they could stealth fire. There was the bloom of the gun would only show up so far if your guns reached out further than that. Well, you were shooting at a shadow. You know, so that's changed here. That's why if you start looking at older videos, they don't count anymore, folks. The game's shifted away from those. I do occasionally get some from people that says, "Oh, you know, you were wrong in this." No, you look at an old video. All right, so we did very well on this. So this is my goodbye video to the F-84. When I get enough money, which is six mil in silver, we'll be trading it out, and we'll take it from this. I wanted to take a moment to say thank you very much for watching. I've been very appreciative. Subscriber count is at an all-time high, and that's thanks to you. Please remember to like the video. If you haven't subscribed, please do, and we'll see you tomorrow.